I'm actually supposed to believe that this is completely cordless, no wire whatsoever, and all I have to do is take a little bit of my hair and put it into this metal chamber and it's going to magically curl it. Yeah, right. What could go wrong? Sticking your hair in a rotating chamber. Nothing could go wrong, right? Let's find out. Hey there, and welcome to Real Chicks TV. I'm your Real Chick Carla, and thanks so much for joining me today because it always makes my day so much more special when you keep me company. I'm your unofficial product tester of beauty products, gadgets, gimmicks, tips and tricks that are weird, strange, unusual, out of the ordinary, or just downright interesting, and that's what we have today. This is an automatic, wireless, cordless curler. It's not a curling iron, it's a curling barrel. And I'm supposed to be able to just stick my hair in this, it spins around, and poof, magic, we have curls. I'm very skeptical. Now this thing has been going all over Facebook. I don't know if you've seen it, but every time I get on Facebook or Instagram, this is all I see over and over and over again. So I just had to test it. I ordered it off of Amazon. I paid 60 bucks for it. Let's see if it works. Now, it came in a box like this. And it did come with instructions, but a very small instruction book. I mean, just a few little instructions that basically just tell you how to turn it on. Browse the instructions, and I fiddled with it in advance so that I wouldn't be taking up a lot of your time trying to figure out how this thing works. Because it does take some getting used to just to turn on the buttons. Push my buttons, baby, push my buttons. Okay, so you have an on-off button, and it's on. And it comes on and it tells you either Fahrenheit or Celsius. So you have to switch it over to whatever your preference is. So I am going to switch it over to Fahrenheit. And the thing I don't like about this is I don't like that I have to switch it from Celsius to Fahrenheit every single time it comes on. I also don't like that every single time it comes on I have to tell it whether I want it to go right or left. And every single time it comes on I have to tell it what temperature I want it to be. I wish that I could just set it and let it go. But it is what it is, and if it turns out that it works, then it'll be worth it. I have not tested it on my hair yet. I have just simply tested it with the buttons to see how easy the buttons are to work. So you've got this little screen here, and you can tell it whether you want it to go right or left. You can tell it how many seconds you want it to go. And I'm going to put it on 12 seconds, and I already see that I'm down a bar. It's got 4 bars, and I already see that it's down a bar in power, and that's not good because I charge this thing for 12 hours. I always let new appliances charge for 12 to 24 hours. It tells me it's ready, and it's going toward the right, so I'm going to use that on the left side because you want your curls to go in the opposite direction of the side of your head that you're doing it on. So I'm going to section off my hair, which I also don't like doing. That's not my favorite thing to do in the world either. But if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. Okay, so I'm going to section off my hair so that I can get to the lower parts. Take my glasses off, brush this out a little bit so that I can make sure that I'm getting everything. That's an attractive look, don't you think? Just brush out what you need to brush out. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am scared to death of this thing. The idea of my hair twisting around in this chamber scares the absolute crap out of me because I have nightmares of my hair getting tangled in here. So if I act a little jittery, it's because I am. Alright, so it says to take 1-inch sections, which I think is a very small section. This is not a large barrel. One thing I will say about it, it's substantial. It's got some weight to it, but it's not hurting my arm holding it. And I can actually touch it, and it's just barely a little warm to the touch. I can barely even tell that there's any heat going on. And it did beep to tell me that it was ready to go. So I'm going to try this section. All right, we're putting it in there. I think I'm doing this right. Now I'm supposed to just push the button. Now I hold it. Until it stops beeping. And once it stops beating, I take it out. Let's see what we've got. It's not bad. It's not a bad curl. It's not as Shirley Temple as I was expecting, but it's not bad. Now, one drawback that I can see is because you're having to use such small sections of hair, if you have a lot of hair or your hair is very thick or coarse, this may not be the tool for you. Pull it down a little bit. I am having a little bit of trouble getting it into the chamber, but I'm sure with some practice that'll get better. That beeping goes on the entire time. That one's a little better. Not much at the end, but a little better. It's not as curly as I expected it to be, but that may be a good thing because the tight curls are not really in right now. You just want some loose waves. I had just hoped it would be a little tighter because my hair is very hard to curl and it doesn't hold curl very well. So I had hoped for a little bit more. All right, let's try it again. So far, so good. I have to admit, it didn't eat my hair, so that's a good thing. At least it didn't burn my hair off yet. Let's try it. I don't know if it's any better than what I could get with a curling iron, and I'm curious as to how much longer it's going to take than a regular curling iron would take, because I just see this, particularly if you have a lot of hair, I see this as being a rather arduous process, but the payoff may be worth it. I don't know. Now it does beep the entire time that it's holding it, and I could increase it. I've got it on 12 seconds right now for the hold. I could increase it to 14 and maybe even 16 seconds. Let me try that one again, because maybe when I'm releasing it, maybe I'm doing something when I release it. Because I almost feel like I'm pulling it out. That's better. That's better. All right, I'm going to finish up in the back and we'll come all the way around to the side and then we'll do the top part of our hair. See, I have very fine, very thin hair. So I would have expected more from it. But we'll keep using it. Now, one advantage that I see is, again, because of the fact that you can touch it and it doesn't get hot, you can get it as close to your head as you want to and it's not going to burn you. If you touch your neck or your face or something like that, it's not going to burn you. Okay, I think part of what I was doing wrong was I think maybe I was using sections that, even though it said 1-inch sections and I was using very small sections, I think maybe I needed to use smaller sections, and I think also I was twisting it to let it go, and I think that was pulling it out. It automatically stops the rotating. You don't have to stop it from spinning. Well, that one kind of came out nice and Shirley Temple, didn't it? Okay, let's try the rest of our hair. I am sweating like a hooker in church right now. It is so stinking hot, and I am so scared of this thing. I am hotter than a hooker in church. Now I read somewhere, it was probably on Amazon when I ordered it, that the charge is supposed to last up to an hour. Let's hope that it does. It's not bad, but again, I have really thin hair, so it should be doing more on thin hair, and it should just be twisting it more. It should be curling it more. It should be tighter is what I'm trying to say. Because I'm putting really small sections in here. These aren't even full inch sections. It does take it in very easily. It doesn't tangle it. It doesn't eat it. It doesn't chew it. Doesn't get it matted. That's a good thing. But it does just suck it right up. It just goes, takes it right in. I'm not sure how this is going to look on me. This is going to be interesting. This is a new look for me. I'm always looking for the perfect curl, because when you are a stick straight hair girl like me, you're always looking for that magic curling iron, that magic curling wand. Well, how I wish it was a magic wand. Ah, now it did something interesting just there. It's tangled. I put too big of a section in and it is tangled. Look at that. It's stuck. It's completely stuck. I'm going to have to figure out how to get this out. Yikes. Oh crap. Okay. It didn't eat it, but that's what happens if you put more than an inch section in at a time. It's going to tell you, nope, don't like it. And it didn't. But that kind of scared me, I'm not going to lie. Having your hair stuck in a machine is not the best experience. It does beep the entire time, so if you're sensitive to sounds in your ear, you might not like that. You just hold the button until the rotator stops, and then when your amount of seconds are up, it will finish beeping, and then you just pull it out. Now that one came out nice. I may try these over again. I don't know. I kind of like the blunt ends. I kind of like that beach wave look, but I just don't know how well it's going to hold. My hair is getting pretty long, so I think if you have medium hair, shoulder length hair, or below your shoulders, I think it could potentially do well. I think if you have a bob, this could do really well, because you can see on my shorter pieces, I'm getting a nice little wave there on the shorter pieces. But if you have really long hair, not sure how it's going to do for you unless you're patient enough to take it piece by piece by piece by piece by piece, because this curl is already falling out. I'm going to have to redo this curl already. Now this is a first impression. Yeah, it's okay, but it's not wowing me. We'll see what happens when I comb my fingers through it and get it relaxed a little bit. This is a first impression. I have not tried it on my hair previously. So what I will probably do if I use it again, and I am surprised that it is going faster than I thought it would. I really thought that it was going to just take forever to get all the way around my head. It hasn't so far. But again, if you've got that really thick, coarse hair, that might be an issue for you. And if you've got really, really long hair, that might be an issue for you. Oh, I just tangled it. Yeah, I will say it spits it out when it doesn't like the direction or what it's doing. I mean, I appreciate that, but at the same time, I need it to work. It does not like that at all. Huh. All right, we'll have to figure out what to do with that piece in just a minute. I think this would be good for a child's hair, because It doesn't get too hot. You can touch it. The curls are not all that hot when they come out, so it didn't burn my skin anytime that it's touched it. I think it could be good for a child if you want to curl your little girl's hair, or your little boys for that matter, I don't care. Coming down to the home stretch here. It just does not want to take, let me twist it the other way. It just does not want to take these pieces, and it's got to be user error. It's got to be the way I'm holding it. But it just doesn't want to take these pieces. Let me try it this way. There we go. So trial and error is definitely key with this. Definitely got to play around with it. That one turned out pretty nice. There we go. Well, kind of. Kind of. What you see is what you get. You're getting a real life experiment here. I don't practice ahead of time because I want you to see what happens in real time, not what they show you on Facebook, not what they show you on YouTube with someone who's practiced with something for 5 or 10 times. I want you to see what you're going to experience if you have similar hair to mine. Well, I'll be. It took it. All right, this is the last one. Let's see what happens when I take it out. Oh, missed a spot. Missed a spot. We can fix that real quick. This is how it turned out. Let's run our fingers through it a little bit. Now, if you have thin, fine hair like I do, this is how it turned out. If you're looking for beach waves, which often I am, I think this is a good option for you. Let's see what the back looked like first. Let's see if I can turn around and see how the back. Does it have anything in the back at all? Because that's where I always have the hardest time getting any curl to hold. So I'll have to look and see, because everybody else that I've seen online, you know, their whole back is just as perfect as their front is, and that just doesn't happen for me, and I'll bet it may not happen for you in real life either. I did put some product in my hair before I started. I used my Nexus mousse, my volumizing mousse. I didn't put much, just a little bit, but that's what I would normally put in my hair. It was freshly washed just a couple of hours ago, and I let it air dry, so I didn't do anything differently to it than I would normally do if I was using a curling iron. I wanted the exact same real life experience to see what would happen if I didn't change my routine in any way. I also just went and tested a friend of mine. I went to a friend who has dark hair, who has much thicker hair and much longer hair than I do, and her curl turned out pretty much exactly the same as mine did. More of a wave than a curl. It may work for you, I don't know. So the question is, does it work? Yes, it works depending on the look you're going for. If you're going for beach waves, at least if you have hair like mine, for me, it worked for beach waves. It did not work for tight curls or that voluminous, flowy look that I really wanted to get. So it did work, just depends on the level of degree you think to which it worked. Would I buy it again? Not for $60. This is more of a $30 tool. I won't return it. I'll keep it. I mean, the good thing about it is you can use it anywhere, anytime, because it does have a USB cord, so you just plug this in, you charge it. I don't know how long you have to charge it, but you just plug it in, you charge it, and after you charge it, you're good to go. And it's been, what, about 5-10 minutes since I curled my hair? You can see that over here, this curl is falling out already. So it's got its advantages. You know, they're claiming these are the world's first automatic cordless curling irons that you can use anywhere on the go. It's got its advantages, but it's also got its disadvantages, and I just realized my tag has been out the whole time. That's why we call it Real Chicks TV instead of Perfect Chicks TV, because perfect I ain't. Well, does it work? That's the latest on this. I will link the Amazon link for you down below. I'll also have in the description box for you the face of the day, the lipstick of the day, and all of my discount codes and coupon codes for you. So if you want to check this out, at least look at it. I'll have the link for you. And that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Does It Work on Real Chicks TV. I'm your Real Chick Carla. Thank you so much for joining me today. It always makes my day so much more special when you're a part of it and when you keep me company. So until I find another weird gadget to test, keep your head, heels, and standards high. I'll see you next time. Much love to you. Bye-bye.